We do have exciting Fourth Wing announcements that came out. So, if we want to talk about that, literally the day after we recorded, on my 30th birthday, Rebecca gave me a birthday gift, which was the bonus Xaden POV for the Fourth Wing paperbacks that released, which also wild that the paperbacks are just coming out. That book came out like a year and a half ago, 2 years
I
ago.
didn't realize
Wild.
that this was the
I didn't
first
realize it
version.
either.
Nope.
I didn't realize it either, but I think it's just because like when I went in to buy Iron Flame, they had the hardcovers. I didn't even
Yeah.
think of it. So it is chapter 27
Yes.
in the paperback. It is Xaden's POV. We both read it because some kind person on Instagram posted it, so we didn't have to buy it because I was not buying another copy. What did you think?
So immediately, I just want to reread the series because it made me miss Empyrean so much. The whole vibe. I wanted to get back into it again, but I know that I need to give it time because we have the third one coming out, in a couple months. Um, it was interesting getting another Xaden POV because it's always nice to see that different side of a situation going on. I will say, hands down, do not remember half the stuff that happened because the two books started blending to me after I read them.
Yeah.
So there are parts that I said, wait, did this really happen or when did this happen? So I can't wait to do the reread and remember exactly where it came in. But the part that I specifically picked up on, was Xaden felt this wispy silver thread kind of pulling him and Violet together, and how he sensed it way before. It was right after that that she had her dragons and that Taryn and Sigale are, mated and or bonded, whatever it is, that the two of them are together. And now that she's with the same dragon, it's kind of become that, oh, we have to be stuck with each other at this point. But I didn't know if this wispy silver thing was the fact that they could talk to each other, similar to how Taryn and Violet can talk to each other, and same as Gale and Xaden, or was it a different thing between the two of them? Like in my head, I started questioning things, so I cannot wait to go back and reread. But I was like, is this just Sigale and Taryn perfectly finding a way to get Xaden and Violet together? Because Taryn had said back at the point he knew exactly who Violet was. And,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Indarna who purposely waited to hatch for her. The book's more about the dragons than it is about the people. We just know the people's thing because that's just, it's from the human POV. But I was like, what else is there? And maybe I'm just pulling at strings here of a way for them to be tied together more than just the fact their dragons are together. But
Yeah, and Mira even makes a comment and says, well, that's why bonded dragons normally pick riders from the same year
yeah,
because the complications of when Xaden leaves, things like that.
yeah,
So I think you're onto something there
yeah. I
with
don't know.
them purposely picking these two people, knowing
Right.
that they were going to work together to overcome something.
Yeah.
Um, I'm with you as well on this made me miss it so much. And it's like taking everything in me not to just like reread it right now, but I want it to be fresh in my mind for January. And I could read it now and then reread it again in a couple months,
I
but I
know.
have so many other things on my list that I need to get to. Um, but I'm so excited to reread
I can't wait.
and just like the characters. And I loved it. I will say though, I kept forgetting it was a POV and not a bonus chapter, which is a very big distinction. And so I'm reading it. I'm like, okay, like we definitely knew this information. Like, what? This wasn't included in the book. I definitely read this. And then I had to keep being like, wait, it's just his side of it. We heard
Yep.
it from Violet before.
I thought
So
the same exact
I was
thing.
getting confused on that. I was like, wait, she definitely knows that they are bonded and that they can mind talk. Like this isn't new information. So I had to keep reminding myself of that. And then I literally just put Liam sad face because it's so nice to see him again and so heartbreaking at the same time.
I know. I know. Oh my god. I wanted him to be around so much more, so I was really appreciative that we got more time with him.
Yeah, I actually saw Rebecca was doing like an interview or something, and she said something like, "If you never leave Fourth Wing, you'll always have Liam," or like if you only go to this chapter, you still have Liam, or something. Like she made a comment about it, how everyone's sad that
Rebecca
he died.
Yarrow's ripping my heart apart is basically
Yeah.
the vibe.
Yeah. And then I caught on the wispy silver thread thing that you had pointed out. But then the other thing I just noted was I loved getting to see Xaden and Sigale talking to each other through their bond.
Yeah.
Her just making fun of him for liking Violet and always thinking about her. Like she literally says, like, "What's Violet doing? What is she safe? What is she gonna be able to get on her dragon?" Just like the whole like, there's a bunch of different sentences. Her just poking fun at him, and I love it because she knows. She's like, "You're in love with her. Like we all know."
Yeah.
Just like admit it.
Everyone can see. I mean, it is
Yeah,
so obvious. Oh man, no, their banter's perfect. I want more
it
of
was so
that.
funny. Yeah, it was really funny. I thought it was a good chapter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just nice to get his take. We don't really get anything new
Yeah.
in there except for the points you made, like maybe the dragons did pick those, but I
Yeah.
feel like without that, you'll find that out through the books anyways. But it's just
Yeah.
nice for people who are love the world, love the characters, just to get some new content on them
I
while
know.
we
It
wait.
just made me more excited for the fact that the third book's coming out in January. It basically
Mm-hmm.
was that little pep in my step to get more hyped for it again. I mean, as if I really needed that because it was just, I'm always so excited for it. But it was nice getting a little bit of extra of bringing you back into the world
Yeah.
and kind of discussing it afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Well, then Rebecca also gave us more little crumbs. What was it? Other day? I think maybe it's
Yeah.
been out for like 2 days now at this point.
Yeah.
Um, she drops the blurb for Onyx Storm, which thank God. And like, what is the roadmap for all the other spoilers we're going to get or teases we're going to get?
Oh,
Um, so the blurb she gives us is after nearly 18 months at Bethskaya's War College, Violet Sorrengail knows there's no more time for lessons, no more time for uncertainty, because the battle has truly begun. And with enemies closing in from outside their walls and within their ranks, it's impossible to know who to trust. Now Violet must journey beyond the failing Oretian wards to seek allies from unfamiliar lands to stand with Navarre. The trip will test every bit of her wit, luck, and strength, but she will do anything to save what she loves: her dragons, her family, her home, and him. Even if it means keeping a secret so big it could destroy everything. They need an army, they need power, they need magic, and they need the one thing Violet can find: the truth. But a storm is coming, and not everyone can survive its wrath. Done.
I am not well at all. I read this at least 10 times and I'm still not okay. I don't know what to
It
expect.
it is so good.
Oh,
I did see your note saying that you listened to Michael and asking if I did not listen to the video.
Michaela.
I just read the caption. I haven't listened to the video yet.
I
I need
listened
to.
to it so much more than I've read it because it's just, oh my God, it brings you into it. And I honestly think I'm going to do the audiobook. It's just so
Is he the
good.
voice actor for Fourth Wing and for Iron Flame?
I want to say yes, but then I question if not. I should look this up and actually have
I
real facts on this, if
I
that's the
also
truth.
heard that if the best way to read it, or like if you're going to listen to the book, is to
Yeah.
do the graphic novel because you get background music and you get different characters like voices instead of
Oh
just,
boy.
some. I heard it's a better experience. I
Okay.
don't know though if I think there's like a delay on that. So I don't know if the graphic novel or the graphic audio version will be available when this drops or if it will just be the straight audiobook. That
Yeah.
I'm not sure on, but I do know people really rave about the Fourth Wing one.
I'm tempted also because I've seen a lot of people doing this on TikTok is you listen while you're reading.
Oh, I need to do that. Yeah.
I've never done it, but I feel like that will heighten my experience
Hmm.
of getting to see it and hear it. I don't know. It's going to be so
Yeah.
much better.
For Fourth Wing and for Iron Flame, I listened to just like a Spotify playlist and it was all instrumental, but it was like Game of Thrones music,
Ooh.
um, Train Your Dragon, like all that,
Yeah.
to the point where they all ended up on my Spotify Wrapped, which didn't love that, but that was such an experience. I will be doing that or listening to the book for Onyx Storm because it just elevated it.
Yeah, I will say that not that I intended to do this and quickly jumping back to Throne of Glass, but Patrick was playing a video game and there was a couple songs in the video game that now I can't stop thinking of when I read Throne of Glass, and I love it because it actually fits the vibe really well, and I don't know
Yeah.
how, but music for me does that. It just brings another layer to something and adds, more intensity, and
Hmm.
also the quiet points. It kind of brings that into it a bit. So, yeah, I think I might do the same because
Yeah, I really enjoyed it for Fourth Wing and Iron
yeah,
Flame.
I
It was a good experience.
yeah,
But on the blurb,
yeah,
first of all, like just dropping that on what, like a Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it was, at like
yeah.
10 a.m. Who was prepared for that? The biggest thing that jumped out to me that I am pumped about is the map is expanding.
I'm so excited.
We are going to new places. We are meeting new people. We are finding out more about the political landscape in this world. And I'm so excited to see what is going on, like who these people are, what have they been doing,
Yeah,
all that. I am hoping that also that we find out more about Andarna's, like her dragon clan.
yeah.
She's the last one. Like, so are we going to where they all were last? Like, if that makes any sense,
Interesting.
like where maybe that died off, where she's originally, I don't know.
Maybe. I love the fact
And
that each book has had different areas. I really like that because it slowly builds the world for us
mhm,
without being too much all at once.
yeah,
So,
it's giving Akatar like how
yeah,
every book builds. I love it.
yeah,
I'm so glad we're going to go to new places because that was interesting in Iron Flame. I know people hated on it, but it was cool seeing the different types. Like they fly on wyverns, the different
yeah,
animals, the different fighting, and what's going on with the characters there and the connections. I liked that.
yeah.
Um, I do think more people will be revealed as Venin,
I think so.
more bigwig people, because about to be Venin at the end, there has to be others. He's not the only one.
And the fact that Jack Barlow also was, but they I can't stand him. Even saying his name took a lot of effort there, just gonna say. um, but there's just I think that there's people hiding, and obviously within the sentence Luri says, within their ranks and all of that, and there has to be other surprises that we don't even know of. And maybe there's more to maybe they're not even just Venom, maybe there's something else entirely that they
Hmm.
could be that we don't find out about until we reach these lands. And
Yeah. I think it's big people in big, powerful positions that could
yeah,
be, which will be crazy. And then the line about truth, which I'm now trying to find. Oh, and they need one thing Violet can find, the truth. So my initial like off the jump thoughts that day was I think it has to do with her dad's research and
yeah,
learning more about them, and then maybe also the Venin aspect. Why are these people all turning Venin? How can we help them? Because obviously she's going to want to try and save Xaden from this.
yeah,
But after kind of seeing other people's thoughts, reading it a little bit more, I do also think this could be pointing to her being a truth sayer as her second signet, like being able to tell when
yeah.
people are lying and all that stuff.
Yeah. Actually, I did not think of that. I thought it was more going to be the truth of why both Taryn and Indarna picked her, of what was why is she so important. And maybe it does go back to her signet in that fact that she has abilities to be able to help them out way more in this war than
Mhm.
any other would. So I'm just really curious about, did those all tie together, or is it just kind of multiple truths that we'll find at different points of the series? Because I mean, this is only three out of
Yeah,
and five.
5.
So we still have a lot more. This is kind of the top if you think about it. And then we have to come down and do all the craziness and
Yeah,
crazy.
on Fantasy Fangirls, they were actually saying like Rebecca writes it in a W structure each
Yeah.
book, and then the series, which I didn't know that, so that would make sense. Like book one was the top, then we went down on Iron Flame, which people
Yeah,
did think it was slower pace. It was a building book.
it
We're going
was.
to be at the top now and go down. So I feel like yeah, it's going to be action packed, big bombshells,
Yeah.
big change because at the like Iron Flame really was we're world building, we're learning more about the political landscape, we're learning more about there's some sketchiness going on,
Yeah.
there's things being redacted and covered up, And then at the end is when it's like, oh, and Venom.
Yeah. I also have to go to the sentence above the finding the truth. They need magic.
Oh, I can't wait.
Can we just talk about this? So, signets are not our magic that's channeled through your
They're
dragon,
dragon.
but they have basic magic, what they call, I'm guessing with writing with pens and shit like that, like things that I
Mhm.
guess we take for granted that they just don't have. But what kind of magic are they looking for?
I'm hoping wherever they go, there's witches.
Ooh, witches would be fun.
It'd
Witches
just be
would
a
be fun.
fun little touch.
Can you imagine if they just started? Oh,
And Rebecca is a huge fan of Sarah J. Maas. She talks about her a lot.
yeah.
And it would be like a callback to Throne of Glass.
I was thinking about the witches kind of coming in.
Imagine it's Manon.
Oh my god, right?
She got the rights.
I would
I
die.
think it'd be cool. I don't think it will actually be witches, but
Yeah.
one could dream. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they'll like unlock something that releases more abilities. I don't know. I know for sure
Right.
she said we will find out Violet's second signet in this book. And I think she said Jack Barlow. He will be a character, but he's not going to be like a front facing main character.
Thank
Thank God.
God. Thank God.
But he will
I
pop up.
I'm not shocked. I feel like we're gonna see him or we're gonna hear about him, or maybe his history. You know, anything will probably get him in every single book until they finally just completely get rid of him, and then there you
Yep.
go.
I hope we find out like what is going on with Mira because she just disappears at the end of Iron Flame. She's in the war, like in the big fight scene, and then she's just gone. We don't
Yeah,
really know if she's alive or not. But I also don't know whose side she's really fighting for.
I know we had talked about this. I think when we were reading it during book club, and it said, "Oh, we're really curious on is she okay, or is she against this area, where is she going?" Yeah, I'm just really curious. I have no idea. And the part of the who to trust and everything within their ranks, outside their walls, also on the point of Venom potentially being some big key players, I wonder who's going to betray,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't know who to look at. I don't know. You know what I mean? At least right now, I haven't read in a while. So if I read it again, I could probably give you a little more. But just thinking about that immediately, I go, they've really started to build a very close knit group. Obviously, the people we get in Iron Flame, I wouldn't necessarily call within the close knit. They're newer people. They haven't been there since day one. But I don't know. Did someone really play them this whole time?
I would love to think it's Jane because I hate him, but I feel like Rebecca's really trying to give him this redemption arc for the readers to like him.
She has said that
Which
she is a
means,
Dane sympathizer. So for me, and I think people have joked about this of, oh, it's supposed to be an enemies to lovers. How did Xaden and Violet become enemies to lovers that fast? They hated each other for a couple chapters and then it was fine. Her and Dane hate each other. So I can't. I know people will hate that if that's actually the path that we go. That all of a sudden, Xaden really turns against them, or they have to, sacrifice him to the gods to help out. Like, there's so many things that could go. But I also question: is it really categorized as an enemies to lovers, or is that just people assuming? I can't remember if Rebecca has claimed that is or not.
I'm not sure, but coming like she is a romance writer, it
Yeah,
would make sense.
I know.
And I think we have the same TikTok page because I did see a TikTok about that as well, saying it's enemies to lovers and why do they become enemies to lovers in the first book of a 5-book series.
Right.
And I just want that person to just let us live in peace. Like, could we have one thing?
The only thing I keep
Okay.
hoping for is that they're enemies to lovers, then they're enemies, and then they're fine together. Do you know what I mean? Like, go on
Or I
that
just
rocky
wanted her to be
road.
like, hey, this is a 5-book series. You're going to go on an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah.
Let's get the enemies to lovers out of the way first.
Right. There's gonna be more
So you know
obstacles they
what?
have to face.
Yeah, they have more obstacles. So, we'll get that little trope out of the way. Here they're lovers
Yeah.
now, and we're good till the end. But
Yeah.
I didn't honestly think about it until I saw that freaking TikTok, and now I'm nervous. Is
It's stuck in
something
my
going to
mind.
happen?
Yep.
And you make a great point about Dane. They hate each other right now. But at the
Yep.
beginning, you kind of think they might have a thing
Yeah.
because they had been childhood friends. And then he
Mhm.
starts to be just a shitty person. She
Mhm.
hates him.
Mhm.
And what if Xaden dies, the venom takes over his body, they have to sacrifice him, like you said, he's now out of the way, and that was a big, like, gotcha. The real love story is these two.
Yep, I thought that immediately. I go, I don't like thinking this, but I went down a rabbit hole with the enemies to lovers.
Your dogs agree with you.
They do. They're so mad. They're like,
They're
we don't
pissed. They're
want
like,
Xaden
fuck this.
dead.
I also just, I hate Dane.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I will be so sad if that's what happens. I don't even know. Like people how they felt reading Iron Flame. If I have to read a book where Xaden is dead and she's now falling for Dane in his passing or whatever, or even worse, Xaden's still alive but they've broken up and she's with Dane. If that's how the series ends with her with Dane, I can't. Even though I think the series is going to end with all of them dead.
So I was thinking that too, especially because is it the Book of Brennan, or am I just making that up of a name?
It's
Am I
running because I saw it at Barnes and Noble yesterday. Or
okay?
the other day. There's
Oh, hey,
Kobe's book.
Kobe. Okay, because I was trying to think about and I'm totally blanking on names, and it's the scribe who is mute. Is her name Yesenia?
Jacinia.
Jasenia. Okay. I knew I was saying it wrong in my head, but I question if she is the only living person that was able to bring their story to life for decades to come, is my thing.
Yeah, because at the beginning, I think it's the beginning of Iron Flame. It
Yeah.
says like this is the story of, and it's definitely it implies that this is being told by a third party person,
Yeah.
and this is being told like this story isn't taking place in present day, which makes
Yeah.
it seem like none of these people are alive to tell the story, and it makes me nervous. Also, like
Uh,
I just feel like she's trying to give Dane like the Snape arc from Harry Potter. But that
yeah.
one worked because you
Mm.
hated him until he dies. Like you hate him. And it's only afterwards you find out and you're like, oh wow. But I don't like this like actively trying to make me like him while he's alive.
No, the only thing I can think of is if we get more Xaden POVs and the fact that he's now Venom. I question if, and the Venom doesn't really have to play in here, but it kind of can because he might not have as much time as he expected. And, he's the worst thing for Violet. And I wonder if we get potential Xaden POVs that him and Dane are talking more. Kind of how similar to Snape and Dumbledore in the back scenes. Like, I think I stayed up way too
Yeah, I
late
mean
last
it would
night
be like
going dive.
interest. It would be interesting, but like I just like
I don't want it.
can Dane leave?
Yeah.
Oh, this just like ruined it for me. Like thinking that she's gonna end with Dane.
But who knows? I mean, it also could be where I know that there's still the question about her hair being, a little
Hmm.
more gray and like what happened with her dad. And that truth we haven't found out. And I don't know if we will or if we'll get snippets and then we find out more in the fourth book. And, kind of like you said to
We don't know
Iron
where
Flame.
Xaden's mom is.
Right. Yeah. Where is she? Where'd she run off to? What?
We don't
And
know.
I don't know. There's a whole group
We're
that maybe
definitely
we
gonna
find
run
out
into
more.
her.
Maybe that's where she is, this new world. There's magic there. Maybe Xaden can live within the Venom because he has this, magical being within him.
This is crazy. Like we are only on the halfway point of the series, and I feel like so much has already happened. Like I feel like she could like wrap it up in this book if she really wanted to, but the fact that there's going to be two more books,
I don't know.
this is about to be crazy.
I feel like I'm going down so many different theories of what's going to happen. And if you talk to anyone who reads these books, they are probably just as crazy as we are
Oh
with
yeah,
the theories. It's ridiculous, but I cannot wait for the anything else we're going to get from Onyx Storm. It's going to be
yeah.
intense. It's going to be intense.
I'm thinking we'll probably get 2 to 3 more teasers before, and they'll probably be like on a monthly basis. So this one came out so probably get one like end of October, November timeframe, December, maybe one right before it comes out because obviously she's trying to drive pre-orders as well.
Right.
Um, and if people are talking about it, if people haven't read the books yet, it's a good way to like get them to read the first two.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, yeah, probably like 3 more, which I cannot wait.
And
They'll probably be like 2 sentences each, and we'll be like going nuts over them.
well, because didn't she do it where she actually released a little bit of the book for Iron Flame right before the release. There was a
A couple
chapter, or not a
pages or
chapter.
something, yeah,
Yeah. If she does
or a couple
that,
paragraphs.
I'm gonna dissect everything. It's gonna be a full deep dive.
Yeah, also where it says, like, there's no more time for lessons, so obviously she's not going back to school.
Yeah.
Is the school closed for everyone or just those that are choosing to go fight in this war?
This is
And
bringing
if
me
that's the
Harry
case,
Potter
who's gonna
book
stay
7.
behind? Yeah, you have to think, though, if we're, like, comparing this to Harry Potter, right now we're hitting, like, books 3 and 4.
I was gonna say we're hitting the close to the middle point. Yeah.
And just think about how much more was to come after 4.
Yeah. Yeah. I fully agree. And I do question too of, is there the done with lessons? Like you said, I think they're away from the college. I think we've done enough there. I think there's enough damage and it's fine. But there's definitely going to be things that she has to learn and train along the way.
Oh,
We
yeah.
every area I think they go, they learn something new. So I just want to know what new skill or something we're going to find for the next one.
Mhm.
Because the
Yeah.
magic part, the power, well, those can go hand in hand. Those could go
Yeah.
totally different.
And I'm so curious to see, like, who of the group is going to continue on with them, what new people are they gonna pick up on along the way, and, we're in for more deaths.
At least 2 or
Liam,
3.
yeah,
At
like, there's
least.
definitely gonna be some in this one. Not everyone is going to just literally, and not everyone can survive its wrath, but, like, just in the context of it,
And what storm? Is it her and Xaden having sex? Because, that creates a storm.
he's blacking everything out, there's a storm happening, I don't know what is going
I know
on.
that's not the storm, but I feel like it's going to get so
I
much
like that
worse.
one better, it's better. I Oh my god, I'm just going literally back to the Dane thing though. Ew. Imagine, like, I can't, Meg, I'll never get this out of my brain ever again. Like, just imagine. No, I can't. I can't. I'm just picturing, like, take Xaden out of the throne scene and put Dane in there.
Oh, Shadow Daddy only works for that scene, okay? There is no way that Dane can
But
do
I'm saying,
anything as close to that as.
but if, like, they are the enemies to lovers, like, we will have to get lover scenes, and I want to literally slice my own fingers off before I read those.
The only. I'm going down a rabbit hole, bear with me here. And I know we hate Dane. His signet, plus if Violet has Truthsayer, could be powerful together.
You are building them up to be this power couple, and we both
I
get to just
know!
be power friends, be friends.
They could be a power. Yeah, they could just be a power friend group. They don't have to be
Or what
together.
if enemies to lover? And lover in the sense of you love your friend.
Right. Not
There is
actual
love there.
relationship. Yeah.
There is love there, but it's not passionate love. Just something to noodle on, Rebecca. That person, though, like that TikTok,
Oh,
I
that pissed
tried
me
to
off.
forget it. It
I'm
pissed me
sorry.
off. I was like, why would you
I
even talk this into existence? Maybe she wasn't even thinking that, and you just put that on her radar.
I know, right? I really noodle on this, Rebecca. That's amazing.
Like, what if Xaden is the Cho Chen?
No, it can't. He
And now
can't be.
Dane is Ginny,
Ugh.
the one in the background all along.
But
I
Ginny was
can't.
so powerful and so good. Dane is not good. He's gonna have to do something in this book catastrophic to make
Or
every single person like him or tolerate him.
Xaden is the Victor Crumb. Powerful, strong.
Mm.
Everyone loves him. Popular. Dane is
Ron,
Ron Weasley.
Ron Weasley.
I can't.
I don't even think I could tolerate that.
I, I really want to say, like, that theory. It will not happen though because she's built them up to have such a strong relationship, and it's the complicated thing of the dragons.
I was gonna say the only way it is working is if one of the pairs disappears, and the only way that's working is if Xaden goes. Because what do we do? Lose Violet, and then all of a sudden it's just Xaden's POV the entire time? I don't see I don't see Rebecca getting rid of Violet at all, especially because the fact that Indarna waited this long to hatch just for her.
Yeah, and I think the dragons will die if any of them die.
Right. I question too if Violet has the power to bring back the dragons to higher strength. Because if you think about it, not as many are, bonding. There's so much, and I mean, everyone talks about it being the fourth wing series, but it truly is the Empyrean, which is about the dragons. What
I
don't we
know.
know
Yeah.
about them? I feel like Fantasy Fangirls went on this, and I fully support them on that. Like, we don't know things about the
Oh, they have
dragons.
their whole own thing going on.
So
I
do
think
we go
there's
to a
like
different world that they're involved more?
I think the dragons have like their own inner workings going on, like on the side. Like they're all just mind talking to each other and they're all coming up with their own plans.
Right, because Taryn says that they come up with their own basically, they have their own counsel on what to do, and they
Yeah.
don't care about the humans. It They know something, and we aren't finding
Yeah.
that out. I wonder if that's also the truth of we
And
find out
maybe
with
the
the
final
dragons.
yeah, and maybe the final book, the big blowout, is the humans versus the dragons.
Can you imagine?
And the
They'd
dragons
be done.
succeed.
They would, and that would be how they would all die. I mean, it'd be a powerful way to all die that way too.
I'm so
Oh
excited.
my god.
And I can't wait. When I do my reread, I'm really going to try and pay attention to things that I think could be indicating her second signet because Rebecca says if you pay attention enough in Iron Flame, you could figure it out.
Pay attention enough. I can't freaking pay attention to a book after I read it 5, 6 times. Harry Potter's the only one I can actually get you through, but it's because I've read it at least 10. I don't think I'm going to be able to read it that much to figure it out, but it probably
Yeah.
will come after I read the third and say, oh, wow, Meg, it was
Duh,
obvious.
how did I miss
Wow.
that?
Blonde
I
moment,
can't
Meg.
wait. I cannot wait. So
uh,
yeah, long episode.
but so much about this. Whenever we have more, good luck. We're going to be doomed.